When Mike Tyson was over, my mum was waiting for surgery on her neck, and she didn't want a big hullabaloo, newspapers and TV and everything else with the meeting of her and Mike for the first time in 22 years. They'd been speaking on the phone for 22 years and had never met. And they had a meeting on, of all days, Mother's Day, which was very emotional.
It was the first time I met him, and it just so happened I was sick. I was after getting a growth down my neck. He arrived and we were kissing and hugging and all, and then he ordered them all out of the room. He wanted to speak to me for a while on his own, and he was thanking me for. He said, "Do you remember the shoe box?" And I said, "I don't." He said, "You sent a shoe box. Half of it," he said, "was for me, and the other half was for Joe." He said Christmas, you had crackers in it, but it was crisps and a T-shirt. He was calling them crackers.
Irish potato chips, yeah, potato crisps.
And then he says about his birthday was, and he was thanking me for being good to him and this, that, and the other.
When you said to him, you remember that, and he says nobody had ever given him much in his life.
No, he said, "I never had much," he said.
Yeah,
and that's when he broke down then crying. He says,
it was very
"Thanks
emotional.
for thinking of me," he said. So I said, "I'm glad," I said, "you made it go." I said, "Do you know," I said, "Joe rang up," I said, "the first time he ever sparred with you." And he said that this fella that he sparred, and he said, "You'd want a machine to put him down." He said, "There's no one," he said, "on earth that'll put him down," he said. And says I was right. I said, "He even got a boxer dog before you were ever heard of," I said, "and called the dog
Yeah,
Tyson."
called the dog Tyson, yeah.
So he was laughing. I said, "I think the dog was retarded, I tell you the truth, Mike, but he did call him Tyson before you ever were."
The dog was mad.
Before you ever had a name.
The dog was mad.
So mad the dog was. He used to keep banging his head off parked cars and walls and everything.
I'd said to people when I was training with him, we're 17 years of age, and I'd said to people that I'm training with the future heavyweight champion of the world. I knew how special he was then in the boxing ring. And when I called the dog Tyson, people hadn't heard of him, people didn't know who he was. And they know who he is now. After the word went round that this young, crazy Irishman could withstand Mike Tyson's punches, other future opponents of Mike, they wanted to test my mettle because they thought if they could put me down, it would be psychological over Mike. So I got employed to spar with future Tyson opponents. Mitch Blood Green, Carl the Truth Williams, Alex the Destroyer Stewart. But they didn't put me down either, you know, and it was a great honour to share the ring with these guys.
So what does Joe mean to you?
Oh, everything. I had all my life planned out. I used to say, well, if anything happens to Joe, I won't have to worry about it because I'll drop dead myself with the fright and the two of us will be buried together. So I had all that worked out, you know. I love him coming home, and then I hate, I just said, when he's gone back, then you're sorry he ever came home, you know, that way. You'd be looking forward to it, and then it goes so quick, and then you're sorry then. You know? Well, he's the best to me anyway.